Slenderman, a faceless, skinny, humanesque giant dressed in a black suit who can teleport and read minds, is a fictional, supernatural creepypasta. It is alleged that Slender abducts and stalks people, especially children. Proximity to Slender is said to trigger Slender sickness, which is an onset of nightmares, delusions, and even nosebleeds. Acts of extreme violence have been committed due to the influence of Slenderman. An outbreak of suicide attempts in 2015 by young people cited Slenderman as the cause, as was the case when a 14-year-old girl set her family's house ablaze with her mother and her 9-year-old brother still inside. But the most gruesome crime happened in 2014 when two Wisconsin 12-year-olds held down and stabbed another classmate 19 times so they could be proxies for Slenderman and so he would not kill their families. The Elevator Game is a paranormal game that allegedly grants the player access to another dimension. To play, the building needs at least 10 accessible floors, and you have to be able to access the elevator without anyone else trying to board it with you, because to play the game, one needs to be alone. The player selects a specific set of floors in a specific order. If done correctly, after the last button is pressed, the elevator should ascend. If the ritual worked, the door will open to another dimension. But if the elevator descends to the first floor, the player is to exit the building immediately and not look back for any reason. A lot of things can go wrong in the other dimension, and there are a lot of rules to follow to get back home safe. If you can get back to the real world, it doesn't necessarily mean that you have not changed your real world. And it is also possible to stay lost in the other dimension. Elisa Lam was found dead in a Los Angeles hotel known for supernatural occurrences. Lam was riding the hotel's elevator and acting erratically. The elevator had a lot of random buttons pushed, and Lam seemed to be communicating with someone off screen. People speculate that Lam had been playing the elevator game before she was found dead. Standing in a dark bathroom, staring in the mirror, holding a candle, if you chant the name Bloody Mary 3 times, she will appear, holding a child, and sometimes coming after yours. Bloody Mary is Mary the First, Queen of England, known for the Marian persecutions, where over 300 people were burned at the stake for not practicing Catholicism, which Mary deemed the true religion. The legend has Mary appearing in the mirror with a child, but that's probably because Mary the First suffered from one of the most infamous cases of phantom pregnancies, not once, but twice. Daniel Robitel was a slave commissioned to paint the portrait of a wealthy landowner's daughter, Caroline. He fell in love with his muse and she became pregnant. Furious, his daughter was pregnant by a black man. Her father and a lynch mob chased Daniel out of town, caught him, cut off his right hand, and poured honey all over him and shouted, "Candyman." Caroline tried to save Daniel, yet she was restrained. She used a mirror to see Daniel's face. Daniel saw his reflection and uttered his last words, which were, "Candyman." The mirror trapped Daniel's soul. Saying Candyman's name 5 times will summons him. The real Candyman killer gave a cyanide-laced pixie stick to his biological son to collect the insurance money. He attempted to not only kill his daughter as well, but 3 other children also.